What's good, chat? I ain't even late. 1 to 10. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back. Yo. What's good? What's good? What's good? Chat? What's good? Mom? What's good? Chat? What's good? What's good? Chat? What's good? What's good? Chat? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back once again. Yo, Desi, Nami, Star, William, Taylor, Donna, Under, Macon with the 21 months, Skip, Stomp, Carly, Luna, Lore, appreciate you, Cinnamon, Slick, Steve, Christy, Miss, W Subbers, man, appreciate y'all. Blue hoodie. Blue hoodie. I'm gonna say it one more time. It's a blue hoodie, I tell you. Chat, y'all miss me? Be honest. Type baloney if you miss me. Be honest, chat. What'd y'all do today? Huh? Nothing. What'd y'all do yesterday? Huh? Nothing. What about the day before that? Huh? Nothing. Yo, Seth, appreciate you. Yo, TT, Mobile, Maddie, Zen, Chan, appreciate you. Sky, Chloe, Liquid, Goated, I'm Dino, Rami, appreciate you. W Subbers, man, for real. W Subbers, man. How you feeling? I'm good. Tum hurt a little bit, but I'm good. Chat, I ate Domino's, bro. You know what I have from Domino's, chat? Dude, I'm about to put y'all on to something, man. I discovered something kind of crazy. And I'm going to tell y'all what I discovered, bro. Nah, it wasn't a pizza. Nope. It was not a pizza. No, it was not. I'm going to tell y'all what I discovered, though. Peep this, right? Yo, Cooper with the 5 gift, appreciate you. They got oven-baked sandwiches there. Dadgum oven-baked buffalo chicken sandwich, bruh. That thing was good, bruh. That counts as fast food? No, it does not. You done lost your mind. Pizza does not count as fast food. If it does, hey, you know, ain't nothing fast about that. Ain't nothing fast about that. It was good, though. Yo, Kenzie with 50 gifted. Lord, what kind of food is it then? It's middle of the line food, bud. It ain't fast. It ain't slow. Yo, Kenzie with 50 gifted, though. Seriously, chat. Give me some W's for Kenzie with the 50 dadgum gifted. Oh, my goodness. Appreciate you, Kenzie. W, Kenzie. Seriously. Jukes with the 5 as well. Appreciate you, Jukes with the 5 as well. Thank you. But, yeah. And that's, you know, that's about the healthiest thing you can get from Domino's. Be real with y'all. You know, it is. Right? Chat, y'all watched the game last night, bro? Bro. How was your weekend? It was good. It's just hot outside, bro. That was bad. Case, I saw the TikTok. Oh, yeah! Chat, I uploaded the TikTok for the first time in like a year yesterday, too. Dropped a TikTok on y'all. Had to. I said, you know what? Let me drop a TikTok real quick. Show did. Yo, Undertaker with the 5. Appreciate you. But no, that finals last night, man, that was bad, bro. The whole vibe was ruined. Dude, when Halliburton went down, the whole vibe was gone, bro. He was GG. I was like, man, I don't even want to watch this no more, bro. I was sad. It's sad, bro. Not gonna lie. I felt bad for bro. I felt justice for McConnell. Yeah, he gets fouled all the time. Ain't nobody calling that. It is what it is. Yo, Bugs with the 5. Appreciate you, Bugs. Nah, it was sad, though. You know what the thing is, Chad? Here's the thing, bruh. It obviously sucks for the Pacers, but it also sucks for OKC because ain't nobody gonna give them credit, bruh. It sucks both ways, man. It is what it is, bruh. It sucks for both teams because ain't nobody gonna count it, bruh. That's tough. Best thing that could have happened was bro obviously not got hurt, you know. No, I felt bad for him. As soon as I seen that leg pop, I was like, oh, yep, that Achilles just snapped. GG's. Nah, I felt bad for bro. He was on a heater, too. Bro was 3 for 4 from 3. He was about to drop 50 on him. No joke. Yo, dealing with the 5. Appreciate you dealing with the 5. Thank you. Man. I was sad. I was like, man, ain't no way this just happened. When's the Wendy's mukbang? Whenever they get that thing in my Wendy's. I don't know what's taking them so long. Like, golly, I want my Takis meal, man. Like, just give me my Takis meal, dude. Yo, Planetary with 1,000 bits. Hey, Case, me again. I finally got one more bits. Hope you played Curse on Roblox. I assure you it's fantastic quality. Okay, bet I'll keep that in mind. I appreciate you, Planetary. Thank you. Egghead with 2,000 bits as well. What game you playing? Buddy, you asking me what game I'm playing? That's like asking a dog what it's about to do in the next 5 minutes. There ain't no answer to that. Okay. Okay, bet, Egghead. Appreciate you, Egghead. Egghead, thank you. Okay, appreciate you as well, Chaos. Thank you, Chaos, as well. Grocery Getter with the 5 gifted. Chat, you know, be my grocery getter. Type 1 if you'd be my grocery getter, chat. Golden with 500 bits. Serious question, when's the hoodie and sweatpants merch drop? I don't know. I'm gonna keep it a stat. I know we got some stuff coming out soon, but the hoodie probably gonna wait till closer in wintertime, I think. I don't know, bro. I really don't know nothing. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't know nothing. You know, I'm just here. I'm just the dude that turns the stream on. It is what it is. You know. Yo. Hey, Casey, do expressly toast my friend Johnny. His dog named Rock recently passed away. Yo, R.I.P. Rock the dog. R.I.P. Rock, man. Rest up. Rest up, Rock the dog, dude. That's kind of a tough name for a dog, though. Rock? Case, which country are you in? Huh? Buddy, there's one option here. There's no denying what country I'm in. Buddy. Okay. I'm in Arkansas, which is its own country when you think about it. Arkansas is kind of its own country. Yo, 22nd birthday. Yo, happy birthday, happy 22nd birthday, Mad Dog. Chat, tell Mad Dog happy 22nd birthday. Happy 22nd birthday, Mad Dog. Thank you, happy birthday. Diana with the 5 gifted. Appreciate you, Diana, with the 5 gifted. You should go to VidCon next year. I'm going to keep it an absolute stack with you right now. What's VidCon? Chat, should I go to... What? Somebody said something about some Bigfoot footage? Is there some new Bigfoot footage? Somebody said something about some... Cap cam. Oh, I thought you said something about some Bigfoot footage. Yo, Pink with the 5, thank you. Wait, is there actually new Bigfoot footage, though? Hold up now! Wait, there is? Quit lying. We got new Bigfoot evidence? Hop on Rivals, I'd rather literally get crapped on. Butt naked, laying on a table. Like, stop. Legitimately, that's not a joke either. I would rather lay down butt naked on a table and have somebody take a dump literally on my body than play that. You got me all the way messed up. That is insane, even thinking for a second. New Bigfoot footage? Chat, are y'all lying? Is there actually new Bigfoot footage or what, bro? Don't lie. Chat, I got a question. What's more likely to be real? Ghosts or Bigfoot? Think about it. Yo, did I see a shadow moving behind me? What? Anybody saying ghost is literally delusional. Matter of fact, you know what? 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 Wow, that's concerning. That's very concerning. The fact that, dude, y'all are actually insane. No joke, that's disgusting. Yo, Devin with the 5 gifted, thank you. Y'all make no sense. Y'all legitimately make no sense. I literally cannot believe that. Bro, what? Yo, Linguini with 5,000 bits. W Linguini. Hey, Case, love your streams. I'll listen to you at work. Guess we through today. Looking extra skinny today. Appreciate you, Linguini. W Linguini, man. That's insane, Marcelo. Thank you. I am not Case. Thank you for the 2,000 bits as well. Happy birthday, Destiny. Chat, tell Destiny happy 24th birthday, Destiny. Muda face cam. The fact, the absolute fact that you goobers think ghosts are more likely to be real than Bigfoot is legitimately concerning. That is legitimately concerning that you think ghosts have a higher likelihood to be real than Bigfoot. Play Minecraft with the 5, thank you. Okay, bet. Appreciate you, money. Matter of fact.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe ulcerative colitis.
Yo, that is a crazy comment!
Break away to what?
Do you see this comment? That is insane! Wells with the 5. Top 25 new Bigfoot videos ever.
This is quite an intriguing video.
Fake. It's already fake. This already fake, bruh.
Features a young boy and his father exploring Yellowstone National Park.
That ain't Bigfoot, that's a deer, bruh.
While they admire a group of elk,
oh, my fault, elk.
Boy notices something unusual behind them. The father zooms in on the grazing elk and slows down the footage. In the background, circled in red, you can spot the figure. It seems to be among some logs, possibly foraging for something. Though it's a bit too distant to make out clearly, the boy and his father are convinced it was a Bigfoot.
Roach with the 5, thank you.
I'm not here to say what they did or didn't see, and honestly, I can't be sure either. My only hesitation is that if it were a predator, the elk don't seem alarmed or even aware of its presence.
That's literally anything except... Bro, we can't literally zoom in on something that's a mile away, something that's covered in fur in the middle of the woods and we don't have a good look at and just assume that it's a Bigfoot. Can we please be serious? Have some... Bro. Have
Perhaps
some
if it is
shame.
Bigfoot, they don't perceive it as a threat. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Can anyone identify what that creature might be?
It don't matter what it is. I know it ain't a Bigfoot. I mean, come on. This worse than the ghost videos.
This video has been circulating for ages,
Bro.
And supposedly shows a Florida skunk ape moving swiftly through the tall grass
Bro.
in the Everglades. I've never come across a solid explanation for what it could be. The skunk ape is said to inhabit swamps, forests, and other wilderness areas,
Bro.
especially in the southeastern U.S.,
Stop.
with Florida being a common location.
Stop.
It's described as a large, hairy, bipedal creature,
Stop.
standing between 6 and 8 feet tall,
I said stop.
and weighing up to 400 pounds.
I told you
It
stop.
reportedly has reddish or brownish fur and a strong,
make me tell you
distinct
again.
odor,
I done told
which
you
is
to
how
stop.
it got the name skunk ape. Many believe it could be related to the Bigfoot of the
It's a
Pacific
dude in a costume. It's a dude in a costume, man.
Northwest. If you have more information about this video or skunk apes in general, feel free to share in the comments.
Man, come on. Yo, no joke. Chat, no joke. The ghost videos are more convincing than this, bro. No joke. Happy birthday, Kevin.
This next Bigfoot video comes from southeast Oklahoma.
I'm sure it
While
does.
most of Oklahoma is flat, the southeastern region is densely wooded
Cap.
and could easily be a suitable habitat for Bigfoot. The Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, BF,
The what?
be a suitable habitat for Bigfoot. The the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization.
You mean the anything but a 9-to-5 organization? What is this? Scott with the 5, thank you.
BFRO
Ain't no
has gone
way.
there to investigate a potential Bigfoot sighting captured on camera. They're hoping their recreation will clarify the video's authenticity.
Bro.
The video, recorded in 2011, features 2 kids demonstrating how to make the perfect s'mores.
Egghead with
As
the
they give
5.
instructions, you can see a figure running in the background. The boys don't react at all, and were unaware of the creature until
Oh,
they
yeah, I've seen
reviewed
that,
the footage
Egghead.
2 days later. 2 BFRO members strongly believe this could be a Bigfoot, while another remains skeptical. While it may not be Bigfoot, I have
Yo,
to agree
shout
that
out
the
to
boys'
Risa.
body
Appreciate you,
language
Theresa.
seems genuine, and they likely had no part in creating a hoax.
It
After
don't matter. Nobody said they created a hoax. It's an animal, dude.
the recreation, the skeptical BFRO member points out that the
BFRO.
figure appears human-sized, with no clear evidence to suggest it's Bigfoot rather than a person. She also notes that there are houses nearby, making it possible for someone to be running through the tree line.
Exactly. It was that dude, matter of fact.
The significant detail, she adds, is that the town has a history of Bigfoot lore, with a local gift shop and an annual festival celebrating the creature.
I mean, come on.
She raises an interesting question. Is this a case of the evidence creating the myth, or the myth creating the evidence? On the other hand, believers argue that no one would be running in a Bigfoot suit in 114-degree weather. They insist that the kids and their father were not involved, and Southeast Oklahoma is known for frequent Bigfoot
They literally were involved, because why are you filming this, bruh? This is the lamest thing I've ever seen in my life. Why are you filming yourself sitting in front of a fire pit, broad day? It don't make no sense. You have no reason to be filming this right here.
sightings. Both sides make compelling points. What do
No,
you
they
think?
don't.
Personally, I believe the kids likely weren't involved with the figure in the video, but I'm still uncertain about what it actually was.
It was an animal or a person, bruh. What you mean?
A video posted by the channel Long Island Bigfoot supposedly shows a Bigfoot braving a snowstorm in the woods near a trail. As you'll see, the visibility isn't great, and honestly, I'm having trouble spotting anything.
Yeah.
Though it seems I'm in the minority. All the comments on the video are praising it, saying things like amazing, awesome capture, and incredible. Personally, I'm struggling to see it. I can sort of make out something moving in the snow and trees, almost right in the center of the screen. But to me, it could be anything.
Yeah, somebody said it was doing a s'more tutorial. Yo, Scott with the 5, thank you.
Then again, I'm no expert with a trained eye,
Yo.
so take my opinion for what it's worth. Plus, I watched the video so many times my eyes were...
Man, you know what, chat? I literally never thought I would be saying this. But you know what? Y'all might be right. It is more likely that ghosts are real than Bigfoot, bruh. No jokeski. No joke, for real. Because, I mean, think about it. Only kind of evident, that is insane thumbnail, by the way. Chat, the only kind of evidence. Ooh, that looks scary, bro. Oh, dude, that looks scary.
You might know Harbor Freight for
Bro,
affordability.
what is that
What you
ad?
might not know is performance and durability.
On May 6, 2000.
Chat, GG. Chat, I'm be real with y'all. Look here. Look. Calvin with the 5. We are in the very last times of the internet, chat. I'm be real with y'all. It's already gotten to a point to where it's almost insufferable. Chat, it's on its last leg, dude. It's over. Another 5 years from now, there ain't gonna be nothing left. It's GG. It's all gonna be bots. What's that theory called? What is that theory called when everything on the internet gets replaced by bots and stuff? What is that? Yeah, the dead internet theory. You know what's crazy, chat? I think we're in the beginning stages of the dead internet theory. Matter of fact, I think we're well into the beginning stages of the dead internet theory. I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's bad out here, dude. It's horrible. Like, it's horrible. Logan with the 5. We in the beginnings. You just go on Twitter, bro. That's all you see. It's the, yo, that done turned into just a slop pit. No joke. Twitter done turned into a slop pit. Just slop. It's bad. Five most disturbing caving videos. This is a great channel, by the way. Not gonna lie, dude, this is a great channel right here. I mean, great channel, dude. I'm be real with you. Yo, Goon with the 5, thank you.
2019, YouTuber Connor Kelly posted a video of him exploring an abandoned McCoy gold mine in the Nevada desert. However, what was...
You know, there's a quote. Sorry to pause the video again, but it is what it is. You're going to deal with it. Do you know what the best quote is about caving? The best thing is about going cave diving is that you don't have to do it. The best thing is about going cave diving is that you don't got to do it. I don't understand. But who goes up on top of this mountain, sees this, and is like, I'm going to go in there.
Supposed to be nothing more than a fun adventure with his family, quickly turned into a disturbing experience. One that would likely stay with the group for the rest of their lives.
Oh, no. See, at this point, I'd be like, okay, I've seen it, I'm leaving. I'd go this far. Nah, see, I'm out. I'm out. Right here, I'm gone.
The exploration of this mine started off quite normal, with the group staying silent to avoid causing an accidental cave-in, as seen by the text they put on screen.
No.
However, after about a minute and a half of treading deeper into the mine, Connor noticed something strangely reflective on the path ahead.
What?
So, do you see that reflection? We're trying to... Check it out. Oh.
Oh, Jesus, what? It's a shoe.
Oh,
okay. Is that like a fossil?
Cuz said, is that a fossil? Bro, you didn't find no fossil in here. You know how many people done been in this cave? You think you the one that's gonna find a fossil laying around? You done lost your mind.
We're human.
Okay, wait, don't move, Wyatt.
What they found reflecting back at them was a shoe, amongst many more, in a massive pile with random bones scattered throughout.
Well, that's a bone right there. Actually, there's quite a few bones in this.
What made this pile even more odd was the sheer variety of shoes on display. Many of them were clearly very modern, while some were models that were released over
I know what you're thinking, chat. See, I already see some of y'all typing it. Y'all are thinking this is some serial killer that's killing people and dumping their shoes in a cave. But I'm here to tell you that's not what's going on. There is definitely an explanation for this right here.
30 years ago. How could such a random assortment of shoes end up in an abandoned gold mine in the middle of nowhere?
I'd leave
Things took
ASAP.
an even
You
darker...
know what I would do if this say this video is real and I actually spotted a big pile of shoes right here? I'd go buy me a trail cam and I would set it up on one of the walls and leave it there for a long time and see if anybody eventually comes in here and throws some shoes in here. So, because I want to know like what's going on.
Turn when the group ventured further into the cave and found a bunch of bones, including a relatively intact spine.
So this is water flow.
What's your explanation then, Detective Case? You know what's crazy? He literally just said my explanation. There's probably water that flows into the cave and there's just random shoes that float in the water and then they make their way down into the cave from the flowing water.
It is gonna be great.
Bro, no. Okay, then it's a serial killer shoe dumping site. You tell me if I sound crazy or you sound crazy. All right, bro.
We can't trust this.
Yeah, don't step any closer.
Matter of fact, no,
By
it's
this point, the
Bigfoot.
group was growing increasingly unsettled by these disturbing discoveries, prompting them to leave the cave as quickly as possible. And that's where the original video ends, without any explanation or resolution.
You sound
Connor didn't
crazy.
provide any more
All right.
information in the video's description or in the comments. He posted 4 more videos after this, but none of these videos included any updates on the disturbing encounter either.
Why not?
So, what's going on here? One of the first things that comes to mind is that this mine was the collection spot for a serial killer. This would explain both the shoes and the bones.
Come on, cuz.
A top comment on the video also backs this theory, stating, "If you ever listen to the Missing 411 videos, you know shoes are a major component of missing or abducted people. This sent chills down my spine."
Come on, man.
Which is true. A statistical analysis of the Missing 411 data shows that over 15% of the cases involve absent shoes. However, this theory isn't entirely likely. For starters, I couldn't find any news reports regarding this mysterious pile of shoes.
Huh!
Which is odd, since judging from the number of shoes, this supposed killer would have had hundreds of victims.
Facts. They've been killing for years.
If this pile had such a violent history, it probably wouldn't go unnoticed by the media. More importantly, many people on the internet agree that the bones in the video are not human. The group in the video reaches the same conclusion when looking at the bones for the first time.
No, it looks like a cow or a horse.
Way too big for a human.
How do you know?
Put simply, the odds of this being a serial killer
That is a crazy name. Thank you for the 5 gifted, bro.
trophy cave are very low. But given the animal bones scattered throughout the area, it's possible it was the feeding spot of a predator like a mountain lion. Though, while that might explain the bones, it offers no clues about the pile of shoes. One theory I haven't seen anyone else bring up is that the shoes might have ended up there because of flooding.
Oh, but when he says it, that's what happened. But when he says it, that's what happened, right? So y'all gonna believe him and not me.
You see, the McCoy mine where the video was filmed is located in Lander County. And from what I could
Flooding in the desert? Buddy, when the dude was in the cave, there was literally flood water stuff in there.
find, that area is quite prone to flooding. So it's entirely possible that someone dumped their sneaker collection in the middle of nowhere to get rid of it, only for it to be carried in the abandoned mine with rainwater.
Hey!
A mountain lion could have moved in later, which would explain the bones. The only proof I have of this theory is that the ground in the deepest part of the mine is extremely wet and has water
That's exactly what I said!
flow marks leading into it. Other than that, it's pure speculation. That said, another potential explanation for both the bones and the shoes is that Connor placed them there himself in hopes of creating a viral video.
Facts.
People on the internet have pointed out that the bones in the video are a bit too
Matter of fact, that's exactly what happened. Yep, you hit the nail on the head right there. You know exactly what happened. This kid went to his grandpa's house. He noticed that his grandpa had an insane old collection of dusty shoes he don't do nothing with no more. So he got them all, dumped them in the cave to make video. You right, bro.
clean for something left in a muddy cave by a predator. Some have also claimed that a few of the bones look like they're inorganic fabrications. Another inconsistency in Connor's video is that he and his group keep claiming that all the shoes in the pile are kid-sized.
There's no doll shoes in there.
Oh, you just gave it away.
He even mentioned that in the video's title, which reads, "Kids' Shoes and Bones Found in Abandoned Mine." Now, while that makes an already creepy situation even more disturbing, it's simply not true. There are plenty of adult-sized shoes visible in this pile. Unfortunately, I doubt we'll ever know what happened here for sure.
I think you got it. Chat, y'all think it was set up? Type 1, you think it was set up? That might have been set up, bro.
It's been 6 years since the video was uploaded, and as I mentioned earlier, Connor has vanished completely from the internet ever since.
Hey, come on, man.
Play War Thunder
Bro,
now.
I'm not
Join
playing
millions of
War
players
Thunder,
across the
bro.
globe in massive battles on
Please!
tanks, aircraft, and helicopters.
Action Adventure Twins is a YouTube channel run by brothers James and Edward. The duo has been exploring dangerous and cramped caves since early 2020. Yet, despite their combined experience, one of them almost lost his life back in 2022.
Huh?
In January of that year, the two decided to explore the popular Petty John's Cave in Georgia. They had already explored parts of this maze-like cave multiple times before, and had even found an underground waterfall during one of their expeditions. Put simply, they were pretty confident in their ability to navigate through this cave. But unlike their previous ventures, this time they were going to tackle one of the hardest sections, the aptly named Nervous Breakdown, referring to how cavers feel when going through it.
Then why do it? Why do it? Won't you get a boat or something? Won't you go fishing?
Things started off just as expected, with the pair going through the narrow and claustrophobic entrance to reach the first open area of the Petty John's Cave.
Dude, I physically cannot believe people do this. I can't believe it. I mean, bro.
Whoa, entrance room.
They're brave. No, this is not bravery. No, this is not bravery. I fear this is not bravery. This is, I'm missing survival instinct. You know what's bravery? A kid goes missing in the cave somewhere and you go in there to try to rescue him. That's bravery. Just going in here to do it? No, you got me messed up.
However, it didn't take long for the cave to begin closing back again, forcing the two to squeeze through tiny passageways. But that was only the beginning. After about 25 minutes of crawling through increasingly tighter spaces, they reached the first big obstacle, a muddy room with a narrow and steep hole in the middle. They had to carefully walk around this hole to progress. A single slip and falling into the narrow hole and possibly getting injured.
And they just don't even care! You literally don't care that if you slip, you go!
Room with a narrow and steep hole in the middle. They had to carefully walk around this hole to progress. A single slip and falling into the narrow hole and possibly getting injured. And given the lack of safe footing around the hole, it would have been near impossible for the other person to pull them out. After successfully navigating around this obstacle, they finally arrived at the entrance to Nervous Breakdown.
This is horrible.
Unfortunately for them, things weren't looking good.
This is horrible.
The area surrounding this entrance had collapsed some time ago, making it very difficult to figure out the path ahead. After looking around for a bit, Edward eventually found the real entrance and was excited to go in. He genuinely couldn't wait to find out what was down there and began his descent, leaving his brother—
What you mean you couldn't wait to find out what was down there? It's more mud and rocks, bud. I could have told you that and I never went in there.
Behind in case something bad happened. What he didn't realize was that this was about to be one of the worst decisions he'd ever make.
He did?
Because after descending for a few minutes, Edward called for his brother, only to be met with complete silence.
I found a rope.
That's right. I'd instantly start crying, and if whoever I was with didn't respond when I said something, I would legitimately, I don't know what I'd do.
I don't hear James anymore.
I don't either, cuz. Where'd James go? Where you going?
In other words, Edward was now lost in an unknown section of the cave without any means of contacting his brother. At first, he tried to stay calm and continued his descent, hoping to find James before long. However, after staying separated for over 30 minutes, the realization set in.
30 minutes?
He knew panic was the fastest way to make a bad situation worse, but at this point, he couldn't help but feel a growing sense of unease.
James!
He can't hear you, bruh. James gone.
James!
James gone.
It's been like 30 minutes since I last saw him.
See, you can tell he's starting to tweak a little bit. He got a little bit of, he's starting to tweak.
I don't even know where I'm at. I tried to go back to the last place I saw him, and everything just looks the same.
Oh, no.
It's just a jumbo maze. We should have never split up.
You should never went to cave to start with!
After calling out to James many times with no luck, he decided to retrace his steps and find the way back. Unfortunately, he had underestimated the difficulty of the maze he was about to enter. Every direction looked the same.
Yeah, why do you think you don't ever see animals down here? Because even animals are smart enough to realize, I'm not gonna go down there. I ain't never seen a rat, nothing, this far into a cave. Nothing. Because even they know that I'm not about to go in there.
Passages and jagged walls made it impossible to tell where he had come from.
Dude.
To top it all off, his situation was getting worse with each step he took. If he went the wrong way, he could easily wedge himself into a passage too tight to escape, or worse, plunge into a hidden drop-off. This is the true horror of caving. Even if he didn't injure himself, he could have just as easily wandered around aimlessly until his body gave way into exhaustion, leaving him lifeless in a cold, rocky crevice. The footage of him excitedly dropping into the nervous breakdown entrance would have ended with the camera recording his descent into confusion, fear, and eventually silence. Fortunately, that wasn't the end of his story. After going in loops for a while, Edward spotted a single piece of tape he saw on his way down.
Oh. The tape. Yeah. Okay, this tape looks familiar. Oh, yeah.
Bro happy now. See, he good. He saw something he remembered. He good now, bro happy.
This has got to be the way.
Dude.
I'm getting close.
Where James at?
James! Still nothing.
Look how
This
muddy.
unexpected clue turned out to be exactly what he needed. It helped him regain his bearings and finally head in the right direction. Finally, he heard the best sound he could have heard in that moment.
James! Oh.
He good?
You over here? Oh. Dude.
Dude, look at, you're just crawling through that. That is, it's just mud.
This place is a maze, man. Oh, hey, I see your light. Dude. I thought we were never gonna see each other. Dude, I know.
The two stayed together for the rest of the expedition and made it out alive without any major injuries. They're still exploring caves on YouTube, but now...
They still go in caves after that? Alright, bro.
with a lot more caution.
I just don't understand. Bro, ain't no way I'm getting an ad for this right now. Bro, can I skip it?
Great ideas can come from anywhere.
Please?
With Wix.
Thank you.
In January of 2014, a group of cave explorers decided to conquer the Lost John's Cave in Lancashire, England. It's a vast cave network that spans a length of nearly 3 miles, or 4.8 kilometers. The known deepest section of this cave also goes down a staggering 690 feet, or 211 meters. Most members of this group had been spelunking for years, and like most other cave explorers, were quite confident in their skills. They had also done their research and mapped out their route in advance. But the truth about caving is, when things go wrong, no amount of
Bro, it's raining in there too.
Can save you. Even the most experienced and well-prepared explorers can find themselves in terrifying situations, which is exactly what happened
to no. Oh no. Oh no, bro.
The members of this group, named Bob Johnson. The expedition was going quite smoothly in the beginning, with the group using the equipment they brought with them to continue safely. That is, until they reached a section of the cave called the Tube. It was an unusually narrow section that required the cavers to crawl on their stomach. And to make matters worse, it was also partially submerged in water, making it difficult to both see and breathe. Despite these harsh conditions, the group decided to move ahead. The slimmest member of the group went first and
That'd have been me. Yo, Spades with the fight, thank you.
Made it to the other side without much trouble. The next person, however, wasn't as fortunate. This was Bob Johnson, the man we mentioned earlier. His crawl through the tube wasn't off to a good start, as he was already having issues with the comparatively wider sections of the passage.
God. What are you doing?
He then somehow managed to reach the tightest part of this treacherous section, but that's where his luck ran out.
Bro. That is absolutely insane! I mean, dude.
He was completely stuck from the waist down, and any attempt to free himself only made the situation worse. Now, being stuck in a narrow cave like this is extremely stressful on its own. The walls close in on you, and every movement feels like it's pushing you further into the tight space. Panic sets in as you realize just how little room you have to maneuver, and with each failed attempt to free yourself, the fear intensifies. But as if the confined space wasn't enough to make his heart race,
the dadgum water.
Bob now had to contend with something far more terrifying, the rapidly flowing water. Water makes any caving venture
Because if you're stuck in there like that, you're blocking the water from going through and it's going to start filling up and you, oh, bruh.
Times worse. In a dry cave, even if you're stuck, you still have time to think and plan your escape. But when water starts to rise, the situation shifts from bad to life-threatening. The feeling of water creeping up around you in an already claustrophobic space is a nightmare on its own. The real danger with water, however, is that you have mere minutes before drowning becomes a very real possibility. Bob knew this possibility all too well.
Then why'd he go in there?
He gave his all to free himself. Unfortunately, the water was quickly filling up his suit, making it even more difficult to squeeze through. But when the situation seemed hopeless, one of the members had an idea that ended up saving Bob's life. Instead of pushing forward, the members behind him tried pulling him back.
It took y'all that long to try that? Buddy, that'd have been my first thought.
And it worked.
Oh, he good.
Yeah, it looks tight.
Bro. Bro.
Bob was finally free, though his troubles weren't over. He later revealed in a comment that him and the two members who pulled him back had crawled for another 3 hours to get out of the cave from a different exit.
That is crazy.
This incident also left him traumatized to the point where he can't even watch this video without becoming anxious. From what I can find, he scaled back on caving and picked up a much safer hobby instead.
Wow, so he's smart. See, usually you hear stories like this, not just with cave diving, but like skydiving or just other extreme stuff. They'll get snapped up real bad, spend 3 years in a hospital, and as soon as they get out, they'll go start again. Bro actually learned his lesson, now he's just riding bikes. Everybody should be like this guy. Like, don't that look so much more pleasant, man?
Cycling, and now appears to be doing just fine.
Blake's got a birthday cake milkshake from Zaxby's on his birthday. What more could a kid ask for?
A motorcycle.
You ain't getting no motorcycle.
On the 7th of September 2024, the action-adventure twins YouTube...
They're back again? Wasn't this the same people in the other one?
Channel posted a video exploring a mysterious cave someone found on their property. This is the same channel we talked about earlier, where the two brothers got separated and almost lost their lives in the maze-like cave. They've learned their lessons since and approached this one with far more caution. But with an entrance as life-threatening as this one, even the best precautions could have proven to not be enough.
Ain't no way,
Alright, so the guy dropped us off halfway up the hill.
Busty father with the 10, get the thank you, Busty father.
Who's been down this thing, but we were at the cave. He says he threw a rope down it with a rock and it was 200 feet deep before it stopped. So we got this stick here. We're gonna see if our rope reaches. It's still, oh.
You ain't gonna go in
there. You
there.
were right, it kept going.
This alone is enough to terrify most people, with one person stating, "This channel has given me a new fear about walking in the woods. The fact that you could just slip and fall down a hole
Dude,
like
that is true. Imagine you're randomly walking through the woods and there's something like this there and you fall. There's nothing you could do.
It's still... Oh.
People with one person could just slip and fall down a hole like that is insane. Now anytime I go anywhere, I wonder how many massive voids are right below my feet that I could fall into at any moment.
Facts.
But that didn't deter Edward and James.
Of course it didn't.
They quickly secured their rope to a nearby tree and began descending into the steep cave.
Of course they did.
What they found inside was nothing short of breathtaking. That tiny opening gave way to a vast chasm.
That is... Dude, that is insane.
Oh, wow. Yeah. This is a big one, man.
However, before they could fully take in the beauty of the cavern, things took a dark turn. Just seconds into the cave, the two discovered what looked like human remains scattered throughout.
That's comforting. Human bones, huh?
Look how big they are.
Dude, look behind you. There's like a little shrine.
Bro, come on, man. You wouldn't be that casual about it.
Them. There's like, oh, that's a cranium.
Buddy, you would not be this casual.
Dude, is that a human? Nah, I don't know. It's awfully round.
Yeah, that looks human, man.
That doesn't necessarily make... I don't know. I'm not a bone expert.
From there, they continued exploring the cave as it kept getting bigger the further they went into it. They also discovered old caving equipment like ropes and harnesses already secured to the walls, a detail that only deepened the mystery surrounding the bones they had found earlier.
That is...
If they
so
did
somebody was there forever ago doing this. That is so crazy that they're not even the first people to be in this thing. Somebody like 50 years ago came in this cave, bro.
A detail that only deepened the mystery surrounding the bones they had found earlier.
Insane.
If they did belong to a person, as the two suspected, it was possible they belonged to a previous explorer. This explorer likely had an accident and died in the cave without ever making it out.
That can't be true because they're all piled up on like a little rock.
On their way in, they did find scattered bones right below the entrance.
Oh, never mind. GG.
These were likely the remains of people who accidentally fell into the otherwise unassuming
No way.
However, the bones they found further inside were too far from the entrance to have belonged to someone who simply fell in.
Yeah, see, that's
it's also possible that these remains belonged to the victim of a deranged killer. Someone who either had ended a person's life within the cave, or maybe threw the person into the hole and later dragged their body further into the cave. Some people, however, weren't convinced and accused the brothers of faking the whole thing, especially since the way Edward and James handled some of these remains felt a bit too casual. That said, while YouTubers faking these finds to get a viral video isn't uncommon, this one turned out to be true. The video received several comments from experts confirming that these remains were indeed real and human, with one such person writing, "My girlfriend and I are watching from Canada. We're both paramedics, definitely a human femur and a human cranium. But this raised an even bigger question. When did the owner of these bones pass away?
It had to be a long time ago if they're stacked there like that.
If they disappeared into the cave in the last few decades, this discovery could end up cracking an unsolved case. I ended up contacting the action-adventure twins to see what they had to say or if they had made any police reports afterwards. We ended up contacting the authorities about the bones.
Cap.
They were determined to be human, and were apparently a Native American that either slipped and fell into the pit cave or was thrown in there after death and are 2,000 years old.
2,000 years old?!
That these bones belong to someone more recent, the despair of whoever ended up in that cave alone 2,000 years ago is just as impossible to ignore.
Dude, the world is so crazy, chat. Say that is real. The world is so crazy that this same cave, somebody was just out walking 2,000 years ago and fell in there.
Ended up in that cave alone 2,000 years ago
floating
is just
door
as
with 10,
impossible
get
to
the
ignore.
W floating
They likely
door.
fell into the cave, somehow survived the fall, and ended up starving to death while looking for a way out.
That's insane.
You know Harbor Freight for affordability, but durability goes right along with
Chat,
it.
that's
You see,
crazy.
we test.
Snipe one if you're in a cave right now.
On October 28, 2004, 50-year-old...
Ooh, I know exactly what this is. I don't even know if I can show this. This dude dead. I already know this one.
Australian airline pilot and scuba diver David John Shaw broke the world record for the deepest successful dive in history.
No, I literally know exactly the story. This dude, he went to go set the diving world record, and while he was at the bottom of like a cave, he found a body down there, and then he went down there a while later to retrieve it, and then he died retrieving it.
He achieved this by reaching a depth of 270 meters in Bushman's Hole, one of the deepest freshwater caves in the world.
Yo, floating door
the sole
with
purpose of this dive was to break the record.
Y'all say spoil this happened years ago, bruh. You can't spoil something that happened in real life. W floating door for real. Thank you, floating door.
However, when he reached the bottom, he found something that stopped him in his tracks. He found the body of Dion Dreyer, a 20-year-old scuba diver who died in that cave 10 years ago. Since humans start sinking after a certain depth, Dion's body never floated back to the surface.
This one's sad,
Given the
bruh.
extreme difficulty and danger of diving this deep, any plans to retrieve his body were also cancelled at the time of his death. However, a plaque in his name was installed near the diving point of Bushman's Hole, which is how Dave knew what he was looking at. After staring at the body in shock for a few seconds, Dave immediately got closer and tried to retrieve Dion. Unfortunately, after a decade in the water, his tanks were firmly stuck in the mud. More importantly, Dave had already spent too much time at that depth. Staying any longer would have been fatal. So he decided to tie a line to Dion's body and return to the surface with the newfound information.
Wasn't very steep. And when I saw the body over to my left, I thought, oh, that's the end of going deep. So just tied my line to it.
Dude, it's so
and by
crazy,
then I was,
bro.
well, we won't discuss that. So I just left my line.
The news of Dion's body being discovered spread quickly, eventually culminating in Dave talking to his parents and promising to retrieve it. After a couple months of preparation, the next dive was scheduled for January 8th, 2005. Unfortunately, Dave's heroic
Poop mouth with the 10 gifted. Thank you.
attempt to bring closure to Dion's parents ended in a catastrophe far worse than anyone could have imagined. Cave diving, aka underwater cave exploration, is far more dangerous than regular spelunking. The divers have to manage their oxygen levels at all times, avoid often sharp rock
And y'all think just normal caving's crazy? Doing it underwater is absolutely insane.
and explore the cave system in a far darker environment.
Like legitimately
because
the
even
worst thing in the
brightest
world.
Flashlights aren't as effective
And
underwater,
people just doing
all
it.
while making sure they don't get lost. Add in the immense pressure of 270 meters of water above, it becomes an almost insurmountable challenge, one that only a handful of people on the planet are capable of overcoming. So, everything needed to be perfect for Dave's operation to succeed. He worked with police divers, the defense force, and medics to ensure everything went smoothly, and they planned the dive second by second. According to the plan, Dave would use the line he tied earlier to reach Dion's body. After cutting it loose and putting it in a special body bag, he would begin his descent. This descent would have taken around 12 hours to avoid
12 hours just to get to the bottom, bro. 12 hours of swimming just to get to the bottom. Yo, floating door with another 10. W floating door for real.
decompression sickness. So instead of holding on to Dion's body the entire time, Dave would pass it along to his longtime friend Don Shirley at 220 meters. Don would then hand it over to support divers located at various depths and keep checking on Dave for any issues. Sadly, this is not how it went. An hour and a half after the dive began, the surface crew received an ominous message from the support divers, claiming that they hadn't seen any activity from Dave or Don. Shortly after, another message reached the surface. This one was from Don, stating that he's seeing Dave in the distance, and he's not moving.
Don's okay.
Don's okay.
Dave's not coming back.
Dude, imagine. Imagine being the second dude to the bottom on the line. You're like, wow, this dude is dead. I gotta pass up a message up the line. We gotta tell people up top that he dead, bruh. Could you imagine? R.I.P. Dave, dude.
While this message was making its way to the surface, Don tried to reach Dave himself. He exceeded his target depth, which resulted in his rebreather controller imploding. This also led to him suffering from oxygen poisoning and vomiting while 220 meters under the water. Fortunately, he managed to keep hold of the line and was eventually pulled out of the water still breathing. Dave, however, didn't make it. But when rescue teams pulled out his body, they made a shocking discovery. Dion's body was attached to the recovery line as well.
Yep, he still got the body.
Following the recovery, investigators looked at the footage captured by the waterproof camera mounted on Dave's head. This is what they saw. Though I should mention, I couldn't find the raw footage from that camera. The only clip of it online is narrated by Don himself, Dave's best friend who we just talked about, who almost died trying to save his life. The footage shows Dave moving alongside the line to find Dion's body, and then trying to put it in the bag. Unfortunately, this is where the plan started falling apart. Dion's
It is action. See, now that right there, that's brave right there.
body was unexpectedly loose from the mud and was moving around uncontrollably. Dave tried to complete his mission despite this, only to end up getting tangled in the line.
This line is just getting everywhere because this body is floating.
Dude, imagine you're so dude, and you get tangled.
It's not stuck. Everything's moving. Right, light gets caught on the line there. Move it out of the way. Still got a nice bright line.
All this effort
He got tangled. That's how he died. Yeah, he got tangled.
caused him to neglect his gauges, resulting in Dave feeling the effects of nitrogen narcosis, which include poor judgment, trouble concentrating, and reduced muscle and nerve function. Put simply, he lost everything he needed to survive at that depth. He tried to cut the tangled line, but the lack of coordination made it near impossible. As he was struggling to stay conscious, the last thing he saw was the terrifying view of Dion's lifeless face mask staring back at him. Shortly after this, Dave passed away. The only silver lining was that the tangled line kept Dion's body close to Dave, allowing him to successfully complete his mission by recovering the body, only at the cost of his own life.
R.I.P. Dave, man. He got the body, though. He did what he was gonna do. Yo, happy 25th birthday, Kylie. R.I.P. Dave, chat. R.I.P. Ski, man. He went down there to get the body. You know, he got the body still, though. R.I.P., man. Man, that's crazy, chat. Y'all ain't never heard that? Dude, literally exactly. This is what we said at the start. The best part about visiting caves is that you don't have to go in there. That's just facts, bruh. That's legitimately just facts. That is the best part about chat. You know what I mean? That's the best part about cave diving, is that you ain't got to go in there.